the most reviled general in the German army. Walther Kurt von Seydlitz-Kurzbach, descended from a distinguished Prussian family with a long military tradition, emerged as an emblematic and controversial figure within the Wehrmacht during the Second World War. Born on August 22, 1888 in Hamburg, he entered the army in 1908. A decorated veteran of the First World War, his career continued to advance throughout the Weimar Republic and the Third Reich. In 1939, he was promoted to Major General and in command of the 12th Infantry Division took part in the invasion of France, where he was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross. Later, during Operation Barbarossa, he received the Oak Leaves for his distinguished leadership on the Eastern Front. In 1942, by then a general of artillery, he assumed command of the 51st Army Corps at Stalingrad. There, his proposal to break out of the encirclement against Hitler's orders revealed his growing distance from the regime. Captured on 31 January 1943, together with the 6th Army, von Seydlitz-Kurzbach decided to collaborate openly with the Soviets, motivated, according to his own account, by a patriotism that placed the salvation of Germany above personal loyalty to Hitler. In August of that same year, he took part in the creation of the National Committee for a Free Germany and assumed the presidency of the Bund Deutscher Offiziere, an association composed of prisoner-of-war officers that sought to promote an uprising against the National Socialist regime. Among his proposals was the formation of an army of some 40,000 German prisoners who would be parachuted into German territory to stimulate a revolt on the home front, an idea that was, of course, rejected by Stalin. However, this did not break his resolve. Shortly afterwards, he began broadcasting radio messages from Moscow and distributing propaganda leaflets against Hitler, urging German troops to lay down their arms. These actions turned him into a pariah. In 1944, the Reich Military Court sentenced him to death in absentia for high treason, implicitly stripping him of his rank and decorations, confiscating his property, and ordering the arrest of his relatives. Paradoxically, the Soviets also sentenced him to death in 1950 for war crimes, but the penalty was commuted to 25 years imprisonment, and he was ultimately released in 1955. Following his release, he settled in West Germany and sought to recover his pension and military rank, but in 1956, the Bundeswehr rejected his petition. Marginalized by his former comrades in arms and branded a collaborator with communism, he lived in isolation until his death in Bremen on 28 April 1976. It was not until 1996 that Russia posthumously pardoned him. The career of General von Seydlitz-Kurzbach exemplifies the moral dilemma of German resistance within the Wehrmacht. It reveals the extent to which the line between treason and patriotism could become blurred when obedience to the state came into conflict with personal conscience.